Welcome back, everybody. This is Seeing Red MMA podcast here. Again, my name is Dustin, and today I have a very special guest with me going over this weekend's UFC 286 card over in London, England in the O2 Arena. Today, my guest is going to be my brother, Dawson.
That's me.
Other known as Big Doss here. So I brought him on here because we've been fight fans for a while as well, too, and this is my first guest, so no one better to bring on than the legend himself, Big Doss. So we'll start this card off here. Main event, you have Leon Edwards trying to defend the belt he once took away from Kamaru Usman back in last August, late in the fifth round with a come-from-behind win head kick KO to really nasty and set the world on fire, really. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen that kick throughout social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. It's been all over the place, and man, just to kind of start it off here, I'm interested to hear your take on what might be going on this weekend.
Yeah, man. It's a big fight. Obviously, Leon is the underdog. I mean, he should be just because Kamaru has that wrestling game. Kamaru right now is minus 230. Leon Edwards is a plus 195. But my main concern about this fight is Kamaru Usman's chin, and if it's going to hold up, because that knockout was nasty, and it wasn't like he didn't need a TKO finish or the ref to pull him off. He knew he was out. Like when Kamaru did that to Masvidal, or when Masvidal did that to Ben Askren. We don't know if Masvidal's chin is the same, and we definitely know how Ben Askren's chin is now after losing to Jake Paul.
We're not going to
talk about that, but I just don't know how, if Usman gets hit, if he's just going to go to sleep. Like, we don't know, because a lot of fighters have been plagued with that chin. Like, a lot of fighters. Chuck Liddell being probably one of the biggest one in the history.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that as well, too, but I feel like it's a thing with accumulation of strikes taken, absorbed, because, I mean, before the Leon head kick, the only time that you've ever seen Kamaru really in some trouble was the Gilbert Burns knockdown that Gilbert landed, the first Colby Covington fight, where you could see that he maybe have gotten it. It was weird. He maybe was just off balance or something like that, but he did feel like he was a little bit wobbled when watching the fight. But you've never seen really Usman rock to the point where he's got all
Gilbert Burns.
Besides the Gilbert Burns knockdown, but even then that was kind of like a flash something there. We've never seen Kamaru where he's gotten like flatlined before, even in his pre-UFC career. His only loss pre-UFC was a submission, rear naked choke, which, I mean, I think Kamaru, even though Leon did have his back in the first round there and did kind of throw up some warning signs like, we might be seeing something crazy here. He still continued after that first round, rounds 2, rounds 3, rounds 4, and even deep into the fifth round until that head kick happened, controlled the entire fight and pretty much demoralized Leon to where they had to give Leon that infamous speech in his corner, tell him to quit feeling sorry for himself.
Come on, man.
Exactly, yes. And quit feeling sorry for himself and go out there and just win this fight, which he did with a fantastic head kick knockout. I mean, you couldn't script that in a movie without it sounding cheesy or cliche, but it's something that happened in real MMA here. So
It is Rocky.
it is Rocky, I will say that. But Rocky doesn't win by knockouts usually unless it's Clubber Lang.
Definitely not a head kick.
Yeah, there's no head kicks. That man can't get his leg past his other knee. But either way, like he was saying, Kamaru is still minus 230. Leon plus 195. I still think if I had to give an edge, I think Kamaru is going to come out here and be more aggressive and also stick to the game plan like glue. I don't think he's going to be messing around trying to stand on the feet and hang with Leon. I think he's going to just mind his P's and Q's, knowing that Leon has that kind of like just one hit and quit him, and just kind of just do what he's better at.
Right.
Because we saw in the first fight, he is 100% better at grinding you against the fence and holding you down, and even using clinch strikes, keeping you up against the fence.
Those foot stomps, man.
Yeah,
Those foot stomps.
the foot stomps especially. But amazing fight. I think Kamaru probably wins this one here. I mean, I'd love to see Rocky continue the legacy, but it's a good fight. That is your main event for this weekend, but the fight that I'm really kind of looking forward to as well too. This is one that gets me. This gets my blood going here. Justin Gaethje coming in and fighting Rafael Fiziev in a lightweight bout, number 3 versus number 6, and now The odds are interesting
They're
on this.
very weird. I didn't see these odds
Now
now.
this is based off UFC's website right now as well too. So
The same exact odds, actually.
the same exact odds. So let me check the next one, make sure. Okay, no, that's not a glitch.
Yeah,
That's not a glitch. So they do have Fiziev as a minus 230 as well, and Gaethje as a plus 195, which is very interesting.
That makes almost no sense to me.
Yeah, how so?
Gaethje's just much more proven in UFC. He's fought Dustin Poirier. He's fought in Tony Ferguson. He's fought in Eddie Alvarez. He's just fought in so many names in this division and knocked a lot of them out. And he's also fought for the title. And he has wrestling. I mean, Fiziev's all great, but we just haven't seen enough from him to have him a favorite against Justin Gaethje, one of the most terrifying fighters in the UFC.
I think the reason why they might have Fiziev as a favorite going into this fight is because his only loss was his UFC debut. Ever since then, he's been on a streak. Bobby Green, Renato Moicano, Rafael Dos Anjos, Mark Takesi. Like, he's been going in there and he's been not only beating these guys, but he's been putting on a show each and every time. And if you've known Fiziev for a while, I mean, I kind of did some deep digging and I realized I was like, I kind of recognize this guy from somewhere when I saw him fight Mark Takesi and realized he's got a very, very, very in-depth Muay Thai career over in Thailand. He's an extremely good striker. He's known for that lean back dodge of the head kick there. He did it in a tournament. Yeah, exactly. Did the Bobby Green. He's a very exciting fighter, and he's very funny as well, too. He's a very funny guy. But to have him as a favorite over a guy who's fought for the title, not once, not twice, but 3 times if you include the interim belt against Tony.
What he did to Tony was ridiculous.
So that's the thing, though, too. We don't know if that was the reason why Tony's on his downfall, or if Tony was already on a downfall. Because if you remember going back to that fight as well, too, that fight was scheduled for a week before, and Tony was like, I'm a crazy person. I'm going to make weight this Saturday, and I'm going to make weight the following Saturday and fight Justin Gaethje on that same day. So we don't know if he was going into that diminished, and that's what set him on the course to being kind of washed up. Yeah, he made weight a week before the Gaethje fight because that was when the Khabib and Tony fight was scheduled.
I did not know that.
All he did that was for bragging rights, and then he
got his ass whooped.
He got his ass whooped. But that's the thing, though. I mean, Gaethje has been so proven. Michael Chandler. Like,
I forgot about Michael Chandler. What am I doing?
Yeah, he fought Michael Chandler. Went to war
Charles
with Poirier. That one, Charles is known to get dropped a lot there, and I mean, even Gaethje said he's the one that hit him the hardest throughout his whole entire career.
His body vibrated after he got hit.
I mean, it's so hard for me to go against Justin Gaethje because I'm a Gaethje diehard fan. I love Justin Gaethje. It's his style. What?
Aren't we a little bit related?
Okay, so to what he said, what our dad's friend is Justin Gaethje's cousin. We're not blood related.
No, not blood.
We're not blood related. I hate when I say that, people are like, you're related to Justin Gaethje. No, we're not related. Even though we both look like all 3 of us look retarded.
We know people that know him, though. That's cool.
Yeah, and we haven't spoke to him in like years. But either way, we know him.
We know him.
We've never met him, but we know him. But Justin Gaethje, I think he kind of plays this one smart, knowing how much of a threat Fiziev can be on the feet. Who knows? We might see a new wrinkle in Gaethje's game, but yet again, we say that every time. Gaethje uses his wrestling.
Gaethje was talking last week. I saw some interviews. He was saying that he's the #1 most entertaining fighter in UFC history, and we all know that. We all know that.
He's not wrong.
And he's not about to let somebody be more entertaining than him, like Rafael Fiziev. It's not going to happen.
That's a good point as well, too. But at the same time, though, if Fiziev can bring, I mean, there's a dog in Gaethje every single time.
Gaethje can get knocked out, and it's still exciting.
It's still exciting, but who do I think wins? I still gotta give to Gaethje.
I want to go with Gaethje too.
I honestly think Gaethje hits harder.
Yeah,
but
I would say
is he more technical of a striker?
No.
But is he more crazy? Is he more of a wild man?
We also have to think about I know Fiziev and Muay Thai in Thailand, they can take leg kicks, but is Justin Gaethje's leg kicks going to have anything to do with Fiziev's movement?
I think Fiziev Fiziev has his own very good leg kicks.
Exactly.
Like, they can go leg kick for leg kick like he did with Barboza until he clipped Barboza.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what makes this fight so interesting is that you got one striker who's just a brawler, who knows how to throw these weird angle leg kicks from the clinch, the grab onto the head, dirty box uppercuts, hooks, elbows, the whole thing. But then you got a seasoned striker that's been striking for sniper, exactly. That's been striking for so long. It's just one of those things where I could see either one of them winning. But based on these odds, I'd say you put your money on Gaethje. If that plus 195 is real and it's not a glitch on UFC's website, throw your money on that. I think they partnered up with DraftKings, so that should be the odds on DraftKings, right?
Yeah, I would throw whoever you're going to bet on them by stoppage. This fight is not going the distance. I can promise you that.
It
it's
might
not
go the distance too. He went to the distance with Chandler.
Okay, yes, but Chandler in the third round coasted and wasn't really punching and kind of just...
But he was getting tagged, so Gaethje didn't put him away. And we saw...
Exactly, but Fiziev can put away Gaethje.
Can he, though?
Yes.
Can he, though? That's what we're here to see. That's what we're excited for. That's why this is co-main event to the welterweight world title. Fight underneath that, we got the return of Gunnar Nelson versus Bryan Barberena here. And actually, I did have some notes here on this specific fight as well, too, because I thought it was kind of interesting. Because you're looking at this one here. You got Gunnar Nelson. He's 18-5 in his whole career here, but he's been kind of inactive as of lately. His last win was against Sato in March of last year. Fight before that was a loss to Gilbert Burns by decision in September of 2019. Fight before that, lost to Leon Edwards also in 2019. Fight before that, that's when he cut open Alex Oliveira on the Holloway versus Ortega card back in December of 2018. That was kind of like his return after the Ponzinibbio fight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, he does remain a little bit inactive.
That's a big gap.
This is a year. Gap. It's been a year since his last fight against Sato.
And then almost 3 years from the time before that fight.
Exactly. So he's
had one fight in the last 5 years.
It's
4 years.
Well, he's had a fight last year.
Like one fight in the last 4 years.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, because 2019. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Is it better to stay active? Because if you look at Bryan Barberena here.
He was on Ultimate Fighter.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But his last fight, he fought Dos Anjos in December of last year. Then he beat Robbie Lawler in July of last year. Beat Matt Brown in March of last year. Mm-hmm. And Darian Weeks of December of 2021. So this guy has remained active way more than Gunnar has. I mean, he's fought 5 times.
He's fought 5 times since Gunnar Nelson has fought once.
And here's the thing, though, too, is that he did have quite a step up in competition, going from Darian Weeks to Matt Brown, which we know he's a little older. He's a little older, and he won by split decision. And then he TKOs Robbie Lawler, which in that fight he did have some trouble.
He got rocked a couple times.
But also he's not fighting a Robbie Lawler type fighter. He's fighting Gunnar Nelson, who is a very slick. He's very good on the feet.
Conor McGregor-esque.
As far as the stance goes and everything like that. But we know Gunnar Nelson is probably going to want to take this to the ground and at least get another 100%. Win under his belt and not be fighting for his career at this point.
But who knows? Maybe he wants to have a firefight.
I don't think so.
We know Bryan Barberena likes to slang.
Maybe Bryan Barberena brings it out of him, but I don't think Gunnar Nelson is going to start one.
Right.
So it's a very interesting fight. I mean, that's the fight before Gaethje and Fiziev there. So I think that one's a good fight to kind of get you warmed up for the violence that's about to come. Then you got Jennifer Maia, versus Casey O'Neill. Number 8 versus number 12. I know they're kind of pushing Casey O'Neill because she's got a very good record in the UFC. She's a minus 175 plus a Jennifer Maia who's a plus 150. Jennifer Maia, former title challenger, fought for the belt and gave Shevchenko some problems in that fight before losing a decision, but primarily known as a grappler there. I mean, she has got better boxing over the time that she has fought Shevchenko, so she's kind of been developing her game as her career has gone on. But Casey O'Neill, that's a fighter who has kind of been known for being a very good striker and being able to handle herself on the ground. So I'm interested to see what you think about this one.
Honestly, didn't even know this was on the card, but I'm very excited for it.
How are you so excited for it?
Very talented fighters, obviously. I'm going to take Casey O'Neill. I'll
take Jennifer Maia on this one just because I know she's a veteran, and I think the ground game is going to be the difference in this fight here. And what's kind of cool about this fight is that if either one of them win in fantastic fashion, whether it's knockout, submission, TKO, whatever the case is, or if they have just a very back and forth fight, they could get launched up back into like the top 5 because Jennifer Maia's right there. She's number 8.
The division is just
it's wide open right now.
It's all. If number 12 can shoot up to possibly number 5 in one fight, that's.
Well, it's because Grasso. I mean, she was number 6 and she beat Shevchenko. So I mean, these rankings don't necessarily.
Whoever
mean
bet
anything.
on Grasso, good job.
That was a great bet, by the way.
It was one person. Good job.
It was one person. To you, I know you're watching, and we know you are. Congratulations.
You're very good.
Congratulations on that. But that's your next fight there. Now to open up the main card, I am excited about this one because it's a great way to start the card off to see Marvin Vettori returning against Roman Dolidze. And if you know anything about Roman Dolidze here, he put Jack Hermansson in the most, I would say, uncomfortable TKO position I've seen in a minute. Had him in almost like calf slicer on the back while TKOing him. It was the weirdest thing I've seen, but man, this guy's good on the ground. Like, to be able to do that to a guy like Jack Hermansson, who usually his losses are either decisions or like a TKO.
Right.
We don't really see Jack Hermansson get stuck in positions like that where his back is taken and his legs are tangled up like that. And another Georgia fighter that's kind of on the march here up to the upper echelon division, number 9 going against number 4. Give it away. What do you think?
Honestly, with this fight, Marvin Vettori, I hate him. He's annoying. But he is a decent fighter. He knows how to put pressure on people. He knows how to lay on top of them and not let them do much. Roman Dolidze, very, very good striker, and he has very good ground game as well. I just see Marvin Vettori getting the edge with the top game and putting some ground and pound, working against the cage, those normal Marvin Vettori boring things, and getting a split or unanimous decision. I don't think this is a very exciting fight per se, unless Dolidze makes it one.
All I'm saying here is based off the odds, Marvin Vettori is a minus 265, Dolidze is a plus 225. Because the odds are swaying in a pretty heavy direction towards Vettori, and Dolidze feels like I feel like he's a man on a mission right now.
I feel like he feels disrespected.
He feels disrespected, and he's not talked about a lot, even though he's a very dangerous guy to fight. I'm probably going to go with Dolidze on this.
Really?
I would think so.
Really?
I think Dolidze, his ground game is good enough to either defend the takedowns against Marvin or at least take down Marvin and do what we always know Marvin for doing against him. And who knows, he might even get the sub.
Yeah, he could.
But that's your opener for the main card here. You like that one?
This one is interesting.
Jack Shore versus Makwan Amirkhani. Jack Shore coming off his first professional loss against Ricky Simone, but then he's fighting Makwan Amirkhani, and this is at featherweight as well too. You have the odds, which are heavily swayed towards Jack, which is he's a minus 490, Makwan's a plus 390 there, and I know Makwan's last fight, if I am correct, it's actually another guy on this card, Lerone Murphy. I think, yeah, we actually do have it on this email right here. Let's see, Makwan.
Technical difficulty.
Yep, his last one was it was actually Jonathan Pierce.
Got TKO'd.
When was the... Wow, so he hasn't fought...
2021. That was on the...
I forgot about that.
Yaron
Teixeira, but that was that knee that he came into. But, I mean, he's gone 1 for 2 in his last 3 here. Both of his losses in his last 3 fights have been TKOs or KOs there. So I know Jack Shore is very well-rounded in every single place he goes to, which is why he was such a highly touted prospect kind of coming into the UFC there. So, I mean, I think the odds kind of represent what we're all thinking. I think Jack Shore kind of gets back to what we were all expecting him to do.
Yeah, not much to say about this one. Jack Shore is going to do his thing. Makwan, I mean... He's kind of the gatekeeper for prospects now.
I would say that.
They fight him to see if they can handle the ground game per se, if they can compete in all aspects of the game.
I would say that's an accurate observation there. But I have this piece of paper. I just want to make sure we're on track. So yeah, Shore, Makwan. There's a couple other fights on the prelims here that are interesting. You got Chris Duncan making his debut against Omar Morales. Omar, I know he's had a little bit of a skid since coming to the UFC there. No real odds posted on the website just yet. By the way, it is also Wednesday before the fight card, so this might change when the card actually gets a lot closer. But the fight that I'm looking forward to that kicks off the prelims, Muhammad Mokaev versus Jafel Filo. And Mokaev he's very, very, very highly touted to be one of the next flyweight champions in this division here. They're kind of slow rolling him, which is a good idea because he is a heavy grappler and very good at wrestling.
What organization did he come from?
Shit, I don't know. One of the OVs.
Yeah.
The ACA or something ACB.
Like
maybe like M1.
I've seen some highlights from this guy, and he looks nasty.
Well, he's got all of his wins in the UFC so far have been submission wins. I think his first one was a flying knee that he kind of just rushed out there and got a big win over Cody Durden.
Right.
It was Cody Durden. But, I mean, the odds don't even have to come out. Mokaev, I think this guy I think he keeps this role he's on, just being a dominant force.
I want to see a little bit of his striking. See what he has there.
I mean, we've seen his striking there. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but it's enough to keep him at distance and kind of keep people worried enough to not focus on the takedowns as much and kind of keep minding their P's and Q's. But now we get to the early prelims main event there, I guess you could say, the last early prelim. Lerone Murphy returns against Gabriel Santos. And I know we have Lerone Murphy saved here because he is very well known in the British MMA community. His last 4 fights, KO of Makwan Amirkhani. Unanimous decision over Douglas de Andrade. And then a TKO win over Ricardo Ramos, and then a draw against Zabira Tukagov.
Whatever that name is, yeah.
That's the guy that punched Connor when he rushed the ring in the
Is that
fight.
really?
Yeah. That's the guy who jumped the cage and punched Connor. So, split draw there. So nobody won that fight. But Lerone Murphy is a dog, man. He's been doing it for a while. Like we were saying, he came off that win off of KOing Makwan Amirkhani, which we haven't seen him since.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how this goes. But he's not fighting.
He's not fighting a slouch.
He's not fighting a slouch. He's fighting a guy
10-0.
10-0 in his last 3 wins. KO to the body, punch, TKO head kick, and then punches, and then a unanimous decision. So this guy knows how to finish fights, and he knows how to also grind it out and win a decision.
I know, and they're both around the same age. This is going to be a very fun. I think it's going to be a firefight. This is going to set the tone for the rest of the card. I feel like.
I think so as well too. And I mean, if you look at this guy, if you look at his recent promotions he's been in, LFA, his last win, KO body punch. Before that, LFA, Barbosa versus Santos. And then after that, it was Future FC. So, I mean, this guy was in the LFA, which is normally known as like a conveyor belt to the UFC. Right. A lot of the top talent that we have in the UFC nowadays, Sugar Sean, Brendan Allen, insert Justin more names. No, WSOF.
Never mind.
It also now is known as the PFL.
Oh, yeah, PFL.
But you know what we mean.
There's more names. Just keep saying names.
There's a lot of people from the LFA that make their way to the UFC, whether if they have to get signed right in or if they have to go through the Contender Series. But Lerone Murphy, there's no odds on him just yet. Expect him to come out there guns blazing, especially in his home country of London, England.
That's a good pick to start off your parlay.
It's a great pick to start off your parlay, but the fight card kind of slows down here. I mean, early prelims, don't expect really like high-end or... I won't say high-end because these guys are professional fighters.
They're all very good. It's just there's levels to this.
They're good enough to be in the UFC for sure.
Okay, why does this early prelim card have odds?
That is strange. Oh, you know why? I think this was higher up and then got moved down.
Okay.
Because Jake Hadley, Malcolm Gordon. I think Malcolm Gordon was Mokaev's last fight. Don't quote me on it. I'm not gonna look it up. We're just gonna say.
We're just gonna go with it.
Say if it's true. He's a plus 310 versus a minus 380 Jake Hadley. So.
UK coming out for this card.
UK versus Canada on that one, and UK's a heavy favorite in this case. You got the return of Joanne Calderwood, or I guess since she got married now, it's Joanne Wood, and then versus Luana Carolina, who was on the receiving end of the spinning elbow from Meatball.
That was fun.
So we'll see how she bounces back.
I like Joanne in this one. I like
JoJo. She's nice.
A lot of the UK fighters will be winning these, just so you know.
Oh, especially if they go the decision. # Bisbing versus Henderson too.
Yeah.
And we got Jai Herbert versus Ludovic Klein. I like Klein. I think he's very good. He's very technical, but I also like
Jai Herbert.
I like Jai Herbert. He's the guy who was able to actually put Ilir Topuria in some danger in that fight before he got sent to hell.
Topuria is a bad boy too.
I love Shrimp Topuria.
Jai Herbert is a plus 135 underdog. I do like that as a sleeper pick for a parlay. I do like that to boost your odds.
Now here's where we got a big discrepancy. The opening fight on this card, Juliana Miller, the winner of the most recent of the Ultimate Fighter, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena, fighting Veronica Macedo. Juliana is a minus 425, and Macedo is a plus 340 there. So I think Juliana, this is her first fight after Tough there, basically her UFC debut, because I don't think
they count it as a UFC debut.
They might. It depend. I don't know.
Because she's not fighting a UFC fighter.
That's true. Because they're fighting to get
into the UFC.
Who cares? But at the same time,
Juliana Miller is going to win. That's all you need to know.
I like Juliana Miller though, because even in that show, she was kind of not really like. She was looked at as like. She's good, but I don't think she's got that dog in her. Mm-hmm. She proved throughout the show she can hang on the feet. She beat, I think, like the number 2 or number 1 pick on the show, like with striking and ground game. And went in there into the finale, and she showed up and showed out.
Right.
So I think Juliana Miller, I think the odds have it right on this one. I think she takes it.
I think in the next 2 or 3 years we could be talking about her maybe in a bigger spot on the card.
Possibly, but I mean, just a couple of other things. We got Dusko Todorovic versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Who, Todorovic, we've seen him fight like RoboCop, so he comes to bang. You got Sam Patterson versus Yana Ashmov. I think they're both making their debut. And like I said, Chris Duncan versus Omar Morales. Chris Duncan, if you watched the Contender Series last year, he had that come from behind knockout win in the, I think it was either the first or second round, where he was getting pieced up pretty bad, but then the guy he was fighting just got overzealous and rushed in and got caught with an overhand. Oh, was it straight right? Either way, the guy got knocked out. I don't remember exactly how. I'm trying to do a That's So Raven moment. But your main card is super heavy. Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, Gaethje Fiziev, Gunnar, Barberina, Maya O'Neal, Vittori Dolidze. So that's your UFC 286 card. Now remember, this is going down in London, England. So I'm over here.
I was just about to say I'm upset because I have to work on Saturday until 3, and the main card starts at 2.
I thought you called off.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Never mind.
He's gonna come over and watch the fights.
I'm gonna call off. I'm gonna be sick on Saturday.
And it's gonna be prelims. If you're over on the West Coast,
I really hope my work doesn't find me.
Well, show them after the card is.
Yeah.
Wait till the card's over. I can't edit any of this.
Yeah,
stuff
we're not gonna. I'm just kidding.
No filter.
I'm actually sick.
I have COVID.
I know I'll be sick.
But this is your main card here. Main card, prelims, early prelims. Now, early prelims over here in Arizona, so like the West Coast and everything like that. I think we're on the same time zone now because daylight savings.
No.
Is Cali an hour behind? No, Cali is on the same time because
Cali's on the same time.
So if you're on the West Coast, prelims 10 a.m.
Pacific Standard. That's what it would be.
Pacific Standard Time. Early prelims 10 a.m. Prelims probably noon. It's usually 2-hour increments.
Yeah.
So regular prelims start at noon, and then main card starts at 2 p.m. So make sure you tune in directly. You don't want to forget that this fight card is overseas right now, and there is going to be a time zone difference. So make sure you set your alarms, get up, make that cup of coffee.
We would give you the plug to watch the fight for cheaper, but no.
I'm going to have a talk with them once this is over. But
absolutely not.
So that's your card here.
Daddy Dana would get mad.
Daddy Dana would get mad. And we know you're watching, Dana. We know you are.
Dana's obviously watching.
We didn't mean anything by that. But this brings us to the next segment that I kind of wanted to try out here. You can see my crude piece of paper that I have.
Also have a paper.
We're going to do some rapid fire questions. I have 5 questions written right here. I'm going to ask him. He's going to ask me. And it's basically...
Do we want to go back and forth, or you do 5, I do 5?
You do 5, I do 5. And then what we're going to do, though...
Let's do back and forth.
We could do that.
Yeah, let's do back and forth.
But here's the thing, though, too. When you ask the question, or when you get asked the question, answer immediately.
Okay.
Like, when I say, blue.
Yeah. Blue?
Like, when I say the word blue, think of the first thing that comes to mind.
Red.
There you go. Shit like that. So, start it off.
Is Usman's chin broken? We touched on it earlier, but is Usman's chin broken?
No.
Cool. Go ahead.
If Kamaru or Leon wins, who poses the biggest threat to the belt?
Hamzat. No matter who wins, Hamzat.
But Hamzat's not going. As I heard, he's sticking at middleweight.
You heard?
He wants to fight Whitaker.
Okay. Then if it's Leon, I'd probably say Gilbert Burns.
Okay.
And if it's Kamaru, I'd say Colby.
Okay. No Shavkat?
He's not up there yet for me. Not
okay,
almost.
I can respect
almost.
that. I can respect that.
I want Shavkat to fight Vicente Luque so bad.
Vicente Luque lost to Jeff Neal.
So what?
In his last fight.
I want that fight. That'd be so fun.
You know what I want? Just a little side note here. If Hamzat does stay at welterweight, Hamzat, Shavkat, give them the fight, a main event in fucking Chechnya when you got Ramzan Kadyrov front row, whatever the hell you got to do, make that fight happen. Catchweight, I don't care. I need Shavkat versus Rakhmonov. Or no, I need Shavkat Rakhmonov.
That's the same person?
It is the same person. I am sorry. I need Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Hamzat Chimaev.
Come shots from what?
All right. Ask me number 2.
Yeah. So, Fiziev, Gaethje, whoever wins this, are they in line for a title shot?
Fiziev, yes. Gaethje probably needs one more.
But Gaethje lost to Charles Oliveira, not Islam.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is that I think Gaethje needs one more, and I think if Charles beats Dariush, he fights Dariush.
Okay.
Or he fights Dustin Poirier in a rematch. That's what I think they'll do.
Okay.
If he wins either one of those fights, you give him a title shot, especially if he does it in typical Gaethje fashion.
Right.
All right. How many fights does Justin Gaethje have left in his career? 3.
3?
I was watching some of the embeddeds. He did say 2 to 4, so
Yeah.
3 is a good answer to have, right in the middle.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Cool. Does Stipe Miocic have a chance against John Jones?
Oh, this is kind of going off of a couple weeks ago's card. I think Stipe probably does better than Ciryl. I think he maybe survives a little bit
Does he have
longer.
a chance to win?
It's very hard for me to say. If you watched one of my most recent episodes here from a couple weeks ago, I have Stipe's hat, so I will be.
We do like that. We do like Stipe.
I will be. And actually, here, hold on. Do I have Stipe's hat with his blood on it?
Yeah. Why?
That's all the haters out there that think I don't.
You guys didn't believe him? Did you show him?
I'm not saying that any of you guys said that because there's not many people watching this, but if you go back and watch that episode first and you go, this guy doesn't have it, here's a witness. He was sitting next to me.
I've watched the hat get thrown to my dad.
Yeah. And then I was like, thank you, hat, thank you. And it has blood on it, but his blood's gone. Anyways, moving on.
He licked the blood off.
Who
go
licked
ahead.
the blood
You
off?
did. Go ahead.
I mean, stop. If Kamaru wins in dominant fashion, is he top 5 pound for pound?
I mean, you would have to say yes.
Well, if you think at the rankings right now, Jones is number 1, Volkanovski, Makachev. I don't know who number 4 is currently.
Usman.
You think Usman is number 4?
Yeah, I say Usman's 4.
I give you that.
And then 5.
I don't know who number 4 is currently.
I don't know who. It probably is Usman currently.
Let's see.
Let's take a quick look.
Let's take a quick look. So athlete rankings. We go
John
to
Jones.
pound for pound. Leon Edwards is number 4.
Oh,
and
Kamaru's
Kamaru
5.
number 5. So I
Okay.
should have looked it up before I wrote that
You
question
probably
down.
should've.
I'm retarded.
Yeah.
Duh.
Izzy's 6 now. Alex Pereira isn't above Izzy though.
Alex is right under Izzy.
Interesting.
That's it. That's very
If
interesting.
if Aljamain beats Henry Cejudo, he will move up a lot.
If Cejudo beats Aljamain, I
He
think
will be on top 5 too.
here's what I think. If Cejudo beats Aljamain, Kamaru bumps up number 4, Cejudo's number 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leon's number 6.
All right.
All right.
Ask your next question.
All right. Are you excited for Yair Rodriguez versus Volkanovski?
So excited.
Me
I
too.
think that's the best fresh matchup you can give a guy like Volkanovski.
I do still think that Volkanovski walks through him, but it should be fun.
I think Volkanovski maybe takes the first round to download the information because Yair is just such a unique
Right.
striker and he just doesn't know what to expect to come after him, and maybe he sees some sort of footwork pattern, or if he switches this stance, more likely the type of kick that's coming my way is this kick, so on and so forth.
I don't expect Volk to strike that much, honestly.
I
I
think-
think he's going to work his wrestling and ground and pound.
I think you'll see a lot like the Max fight, circle around, counter shot.
You could, yeah. A lot of leg kicks to help the movement.
But at the same time, you got a guy with a longer reach. If you can touch his leg, but the guy that has that kind of reach like Yair does, he can touch your face.
I don't know. Volk's so fast.
But if he can, as soon as he gets touched with a leg kick, just drill that in, just straight right, straight left. As soon as his leg gets touched, you might, because Volk can only lean back so much.
Yeah,
especially if he's having to jump forward.
After watching the Korean Zombie fight, I will never doubt Volk again.
That's a weird fight to say. You'll never doubt.
It's
Did you have Zombie?
I didn't have Zombie. I just didn't expect that. That it was.
I didn't expect that kind of an ass.
I did not expect that at all.
Volk.
I thought Zombie would have some clean boxing and maybe be able to be competitive, but it was not.
I don't think we just knew how good Volk was yet.
Probably, yeah. And especially when he just fought Islam and did that good. And I think Volk could have won that fight if it was different judges.
That's true. Now, is it my turn?
That was my last one.
That was your last one? You only had 4?
That was 5.
You had 5.
Oh, no, I have one more.
So I got this next one. So this was actually, I watched this before you came over here. Conor versus Chandler was confirmed to be fighting at 170 on the Ariel Helwani show.
Are they testing for steroids?
Apparently Conor said he has to pass 2 drug tests.
2?
2.
Okay.
Which I was kind of shocked at. I thought they'd give him more.
Yeah.
But I guess he probably just has to cycle off whatever he was on because, let's be honest, juicing.
IVs hit up Islam.
Juicing. Well, IV rule changed apparently. It's 100 milliliters at one time. But what's at one time? In a day, in an hour,
30 minutes.
Exactly.
And you know IVs can flush steroids out of your system and still give you the effects.
That's why they were banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, you can get a nurse that just said, "Oh yeah, you had 100 mLs."
But here's the main part of the question. Conor already said this on the show. I don't think you've seen it yet because it came out today. I want to hear your thoughts. If Conor does beat Michael Chandler at 170, does he get the winner of Leon and Usman? Now, my question is, does he get the winner?
No.
Or do you want to see him get the winner?
I don't either. No.
You don't think he gets it? You don't think Dana?
No.
If he goes out there and sparks Chandler like he did against Eddie?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it might happen.
How?
Because
Chandler's not even a 170.
Conor Mania.
Who cares? Conor's going to fight this one time and then he's going to fight in 2 years. He's not fighting again this year.
Conor did say he wants to fight twice this year.
Oh, he said that when he fought Donald Cerrone. They wanted to fight 3 times that year.
Yeah, but
then, look what happened. What happened?
Okay.
What happened?
Okay. Is it yes or
what
no?
happened?
Okay. All right. So, no, you don't think he gets the title shot. All right. Next question.
That was stupid. Anyway.
Fuck you, man.
So, we talked about this a little bit, but I don't want to talk about it too much. So you saw Chael talk to John Anik and on Andrew Schultz's podcast, Flagrant 2.
I know where this is going.
So he was talking about Valentina Shevchenko and saying that she is not marketable at all because she's fake. And I was like, oh shit, she's fake. He's saying that she is a bully, she is a heel, and she should play the part and stop acting like she is some good girl that is respectful and wants to be nice. No, she wants to go out there and murder all these women.
You can say bitches.
Okay, all these bitches. She wants to fucking kill all these bitches, and she's in at the press conference. She's talking about the lake by her house and shit crisscross applesauce, telling a story like we're kindergartners. I did steal what Chael said.
I was like, you're quoting Chael.
I did, but what do you think about that? Do you think he's right?
I don't think he's wrong, but I also don't think he's spent time with Shevchenko. I think he's just analyzing because I think
we don't know. That love triangle might be deep.
To people that haven't seen the episode, he accused John Jones, Holly Holm, and Shevchenko of having a love triangle. But at the same time, though, he also said Shevchenko and Holly Holm should fight to win John Jones' love. Basically, even though Shevchenko and Holly Holm did fight.
That was very funny.
It was very funny, but also that part right there where like they should fight, I was like, Chael, they fought already.
I think he knew that.
I don't think he did.
I think he did. It's Chael. I think he knew.
I think Chael's got a lot going on, to where like he might miss some certain things like that.
Apparently, Chael. I know you heard this too. This is totally off topic, but Chael didn't even know that Deontay Wilder was fighting, and he works for ESPN.
That's true. That's true. Well, here, how about this? My last question to you.
Okay, I'm done, so.
You're done? All right. So.
Okay. Kobe.
My last question to you. Shout out Habib. My last question to you. That was the Habib thing. Where you go? Me? No. God. Yes. So my last question to you: make a 3-leg parlay.
Okay.
Off the main card only.
Okay.
Now, do you need to see the main card again?
I do.
Okay. Casual. All right.
Now, do we want it to make a lot of money, or do we want it to hit?
The one that you want to hit.
Okay, one to hit. So put like $50 on to win 100 type thing. Not $1 to win 100.
I would just say a parlay that you would make.
Right.
Because we don't have like the odds. We don't see what the payout would be or anything. A parlay you would make.
Okay. First things first. We've got to go down to the bottom of this. So we start from the bottom. All right, just the main card.
Just the main card.
Okay. First, I'd go Marvin Vettori decision.
Okay.
Preferably split decision.
Okay.
I would, because that's going to give you the better odds.
Well, isn't this when you bet? It's just decision, right?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure in DraftKings that's what I use. There's a spot for what type of decision.
Us.
There's a majority decision. There's a unanimous decision.
That's right.
And there's a split decision. And there's a draw. You can pick exactly what happens. You can go unanimous if you want, or just a regular decision. But I think, because Roman is a good competitor, and he is going to give him a tough fight. A split decision, it's a smart pick. I go with split decision.
All right. Next.
Gunnar Nelson, Brian Barberena. I got Gunnar Nelson coming back, returning, gonna get it done. Don't necessarily know if
gonna get it done.
Don't necessarily know if he's gonna finish Brian Barberena, because Brian Barberena, as we saw in that Robbie Lawler fight, has a chin and can take it. But Gunnar Nelson also has a good ground game and a couple other things that are going to make Brian Barberena brain go a little thinking too fast. So I Gunnar Nelson just flat.
All right, so that's 2 out of your 3 for the parlay. So do you want to bet on either the main event or the co-main event?
Justin Gaethje by TKO KO.
Okay.
Is what I have.
And now if you were to go make it a 4-leg parlay, who are you going in the main event?
Okay. I sent you this earlier, and it's my weird parlay. It's just out there. It's Leon Edwards money line. The fight to end in round 3. Leon Edwards to have 60 significant strikes and 2 takedowns landed in the first round. Don't tell me I didn't tell you. Don't tell me I didn't tell you.
Hey, Saturday, when I record the review, I'm definitely going to note this.
Don't tell me I didn't tell you when Leon Edwards lands 60 punches and knocks him out in the 3rd round and gets taken down twice in the 1st round. Don't come at me.
All right. Well, that's a very strong pick. Well, that's pretty much all I have here for today. Thank you.
That was fun.
Thank you, Dawson, for coming on the show, being the first guest on the podcast. This is episode... Is it 11? I think it's either 10 or 11.
Something like that.
No, it's 11 or 12. Either way, thank you guys. If you are watching, make sure to like and subscribe the video so you can tune in every Friday before the fights and every Saturday or Sunday after the fights there, just depending on how late the card ends. I might get it out. Well, this one, probably get it out Saturday right after the fights because they end so early.
And go into Shop's comments and just put at Seeing Red Podcast. That's all.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. But
at Seeing Red Podcast.
The man's going through enough. Just do that and that only.
He deserves it.
Okay, all right. Walk me to my truck. Anyways, that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe, like I said. My name is Dustin. This
Looks
is my
like
brother.
A chipmunk. Hi, all right.
This is Dawson here. Make sure if you want to keep updated with me, follow me on Twitter at SeeingRedMMA. Other than that, you guys have yourself a wonderful day.